Hi, everybody. Welcome to Echoes of Emergence. This is the first episode of a series that I'm going to be doing here with Jenna Greengold. I'll tell you about her in just a moment. But this series is basically it's going to be channeling. It's going to be guidance coming through the divine. We're going to pull a card each episode, and then we're going to just bring through how this feels and presents and what's just naturally coming through us, both our through our bodies and through our channeling. And it's just going to be creative and flowy and beautiful. And it's going to offer you an invitation into whatever it awakens in you. So I'm going to read you what I wrote about what Echoes of Emergence means, because I don't know that I could say it in a succinct way again. So I'm just going to read what I wrote down. It's the ripple effect of the aspects of ourselves coming forward to be seen as we shift into full recognition of our wholeness. So I'll say that again. It's the ripple effect of the aspects of ourselves coming forward to be seen as we shift into full recognition of our wholeness. And Jenna's definition, do you want to share yours or do you want me to do it?
Well, you kind of made it pretty beautiful from what I had written. So I
All
think you
right.
could
Well, I'm going
share.
to tell you guys who Jenna is first, okay? And then I'll tell you who I am if you don't know who I am. But Jenna, we're doing this series together because she's having trouble accepting that that I fully know her to be the most aligned embodiment of oneness and unity consciousness that I've come into contact with on this planet. And therefore, I want her wisdom to be shared more widely. And us together channeling is fucking brilliant. So we are inviting you into that witnessing. But her definition of this echoes of emergence is channeling the echo of each invitation into our becoming. And how that felt for me was like the sensations, whether this is emotional sensation or physical sensation or waves of energy moving through you or into you, um, that come into your field and activate you into this deep knowing. And it's really an invitation. It's like a nudge, right? It's like a gut movement, that as we channel, as we share these messages with you, I just want you to be really present with yourself, right? Like just be really present with what's arising in your own field. It could be random wisdom, it could be a sensation, but it's just being a witness to what's coming forward within you, because that's really where you're being tugged and invited by your soul to step further into who you are. And that's ultimately what we're looking for, is wholeness at all layers of our being.
And trusting what you're receiving is for you.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Laura Mazzata, and I have been a therapist for 20 years, a holistic therapist, and I'm an Akashic Records channel and a consciousness mentor. And all of that means nothing, because really we're just here for you to feel the vibration of what we're bringing through. So
Mm.
we are starting today with the Mary Magdalene Oracle deck by Megan Watterson. So good,
Very good.
FYI. So the card we pulled for you guys today is the Cross. Faith, hope, and love endure. I am anchored in love. So the first thing I want you to do is just like, what does the card itself feel like to you? What stands out? What gets activated within you? Either through the words, through the imagery, through the lighting. So just kind of receiving that. And you can also just use this, take a screenshot of this image and just meditate on this symbol as well. Um, just meditating on imagery can be really, really powerful and alchemical for the subconscious mind. So I'm going to read to you from the Oracle book. And then I'm going to ask Jenna what's coming forward in her after I read this. And I may ad lib. Sorry, that's kind of how things go when I do this shit. So, all right. So it is believed that after crossing the Mediterranean Sea, Mary Magdalene landed in what is now the south of France. This is why Mary Magdalene is associated with the Guardian's Cross that originates in this coastal region of France. It contains a traditional cross at the top, a heart in the middle, and an anchor at its base. This composition refers to 1 Corinthians 13:13. Faith, hope, and love endure, these three, but the greatest of these is love. Christ instructs us in Mary's gospel, become content at heart, while also remaining discontent and disobedient. Indeed, become contented and agreeable only in the presence of that other image of nature. Anyone with 2 ears capable of hearing should listen. And that's from Mary 3:12-14. The Greek word for knowledge or knowing is gnosis. Doesn't refer to intellectual knowledge or something we can be taught or information we can be given by someone else. It's what we know because of direct experience. So this is really talking all about presence, which I think she's going to get into here, because it's about like being really present with how are you directly experiencing something. It's going to be different for every single person based on sensation, based on different layers of who you are, right? For me, Christ here is asking us to become anchored in the direct experience of love foremost, to become rooted in the presence of love, to listen inward daily, to know love, meaning to experience directly from within you that you are love, so that you can remain discontent with and disobedient to all that is not love. The presence of that other image of nature, for me, from my experience, is referring to the presence of love which I encounter within me, and it's a presence that is eternal. This love is what's more than me. And I can only know this presence, this great, big, unsayable love in my heart, if I am willing to listen and be present to it. This allows me then to discern when someone or an institution is asking me to do something or be someone in the world that is not love. This is why love is the most crucial, why love is the greatest of these, because love is meant to lead the way. And this is why, for me, Mary's cross seems to echo with meaning from antiquity to the modern world. It's the symbol of faith as the radical act of knowing love, of experiencing love directly from within us. Where in my life can I anchor more fully into my heart? So what does that bring forward for you?
I loved that.
Mm.
I love that a lot.
You know,
It
the first thing,
feels
go ahead, tell me.
no, you go first.
I'm so chatty, Jenna.
No, go for it.
The
I
first thing,
receive.
the first thing that comes forward for me is like, and it's so funny because this was actually dropping in this morning for my vitality call later, because I'm going to be channeling Christ consciousness. And what was coming forward was this concept of like, when we're channeling Christ consciousness, we're not really channeling. Like we can bring that energy into us and it feels really, really amazing. But Christ consciousness exists within every one of us, right? Like it's within you, it's
Mhm,
inside of you, you carry it inside of you, and its texture and its flavor is very different depending on the person. So,
mhm.
yeah. So I feel really, it's like this powerful, soothing sensation at the same time.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm. What was coming up for you?
The fact that love is energy, it's not a thing.
Mm,
And to really hone in on the fact that it is not things that are a result of feeling love or the result of being love. And I think we've talked about this before in a past thing where it's like it's not um very specific acts, that come from feeling that. It is the energy that moves through you, it is the feeling,
mm.
it is the sensation, and to be certain of it.
Okay, I like that, because what comes up for me when you say that is like, I feel like sometimes, particularly for some people, like we talk about embodiment all the time, right? And like bringing the divine into the body. And I think for some people, they need to decide to be certain before the sensation comes online.
Oh, absolutely.
Or they
Mhm,
misinterpret sensation as something else, like somebody saying, oh, I'm having a panic attack, or I'm depressed, or this, that, or the other. Or maybe you're
mhm,
shedding and opening space for the enormity of love that's arriving to you that you don't feel deserving of because of old stories,
mhm.
because of old this, old that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to feel the certainty of what love is to you, and then to be able to bathe in that. And that way you can recall it in your body whenever you are feeling it, whenever it is moving through you. Similar to certainty, right? So like when you know, okay, your name is Laura, you're certain of it. What does that certainty feel like in your body?
Oh, I like that.
And then
Hmm.
you can identify certainty. Easy. And you do the same thing with love.
Yeah, it's like an energetic memory that's housed in the
Hmm.
body that you can open, and it's not finite.
At
Like it's
all.
always unfolding, it's always expanding. So
Hmm.
it's not like you're locking yourself into a definition of certainty. It's not like you're locking yourself into a definition of love or a sensation of love. It's a recognition that, especially when you're on this path and you're really opening to divine energy, you're gonna settle into something and you're gonna feel fully integrated in your embodiment, and then you're gonna get invited into the next level.
Oh, within like a second. As soon as you get comfortable with it, it's gone.
Yes. And then
And
you're
it's
like, well,
ready to
shit, I
move.
thought I figured this out.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can think that there's something wrong, or that you miss the mark or something like that. But it's really
Mhm.
just, if you have an eager heart, if you have an eager soul, and
Mhm.
I would argue that all souls are eager for the most part,
Mhm.
but eager for different things. They might not be eager, they're not all eager for the same things. But if you're eager, and you start to listen and you start to respond and receive and allow yourself to open, the universe hears that. The universe responds to that. And it's like, oh, all right, she's
Absolutely.
ready. Here we go.
Yep. Every time.
Mhm. And so, what would you say is supportive for people who feel like it's almost like this? Let me catch my breath. Like it feels like an onslaught because I just
Mhm.
embodied this. I just integrated this. Oh shit, here comes you know what I mean? And it's
Mhm.
great and it's good and it's big, but it's like, whew.
Well, knowing you don't have to rush with anything and that it's for you. So you get to do what you want with it every time. It's a choice.
That's what I love is like, I think some people, and this is where bypassing can come in with spirituality. Some people can think that like, oh, well, I ask the divine for guidance and they give it to me and then I have to go do it.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not like the
Mhm.
divine says jump and you say how high. This is co-creation, and the divine is in deep reverence of us, right? And so it's like,
Yes.
okay, they give us their guidance and we say like be in deep gratitude for that, place it on the table with the sensation that's coming up in your body, with where you currently are in terms of your pace, in terms of yeah, I want to stretch my comfort zone a little bit, but I also
Mhm.
want to be respectful of my human, right? And
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to find a pace, like you said, a pace that feels really co-creative and expansive, but also not overrun.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. And I like what you said about, jumping and then people say, okay, how high? And you do it. But no, it's like, okay, divine says jump and you say, okay, well, let me take that. And maybe I want to jump over here with that
Mhm.
instead. And you can.
Mhm.
You take the lessons and you use them how you want to use them.
And in that presence, if you are practicing that presence,
Hmm.
then you're going to get data and feedback from your own field, no matter what
Hmm.
choices you make as you go along. And it doesn't mean that you're locked into anything. You're never locked into anything.
No. And your energy knows exactly what to do with with itself within your body.
Yes, I love that. Because that's one of the things, right? Like if we get really if we get really overrun and confused, a lot of the time it's because we are dealing with energies that are not ours.
Hmm. Or we're
Because
trying to move our energy in a specific way when it already knows what it's supposed to be doing and you're trying to pull it somewhere else.
mm, yeah, so that choice of where you're taking it is really in response to the guidance within you. The
It's
guidance
a
being,
surrender.
yeah.
It's just an invitation into surrender.
Hmm. Yeah, and flow
Hmm.
and trust that you're being guided.
Yeah.
And I can say that so much from my own life, like just so many situations that I felt like, ooh, like in 3D form, I'm like, this narrative is sketchy. But
Hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I just know without a shadow of a doubt. And I know because it illuminates me. It makes me feel more like myself. And this comes right back around to this concept we were talking about at the beginning of what this whole series is going to be about, right? Around coming into recognition of our wholeness.
Mhm.
And that when I see more of myself, when I feel more of myself, and not my old self, but I know it's me when I'm like at my highest level of vitality, my highest level of energy. I'm excited. I can't wait for this, that, or the other, right? Like I'm I'm playful, and
Mhm.
I'm sincere, and I'm focused, and I have space and breath
Yeah.
and ease. And I think that those are the things that define wholeness for me. But
Mm.
that's something that I think can feel different for everyone. Like, do you even know what wholeness feels like for you?
My highest joy. I
Yes.
think that when you get like jazzed up about something, then that's when you know you're actually in your soul.
Hmm.
Like when you actually feel that motivation and you feel that pull and you're not something.
Hmm.
So yeah, highest joy.
Mm. I love that. And even like one of the experiences, I can't remember even what it was a full moon thing or meditation or something in my membership that I did on joy, and all the
Mm.
different textures of joy and
And they
layers.
all felt so different.
So different.
It was nuts.
That was
And there's
one.
one I was like, "Oh, I don't like this one."
And I think
It's
I
just
did like
yeah,
25 of them or 20 of them or
yeah.
something. Like, and there were so many more coming in that I could have done, but I didn't want it to go on for
Mhm.
18 years. But yeah, I mean, it's like that's the other piece. I mean, you could say highest joy. Okay, well, what does joy feel like to you? Because joy
Mhm.
can feel like contentment. Joy can feel like an
Ugh,
expansive breath, right? So I think, you can chase this fucking definition until the ends of the earth. But again,
yeah.
we're not trying to understand this in the mind. We're trying to feel it in the body. Like, what does joy feel like in the body?
Mhm.
And I think that your definition is your definition. And guess what? It's going to
Mhm.
change every damn day if you are an eager soul and an eager heart who's continually curious about where you're being invited. So,
Love that.
yay. All right. This feels really good and really complete.
Yeah, it does.
And thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so happy that we got to do this. Thank you guys for
Me
joining
too.
us for it. And we're going to do it again. We're going to do it every week until it feels complete. If it ever does, whatever. We're just going to go with it because we
Uh,
follow the flow, and we're going to pick a different deck each time. So let
one
us
of
know.
your 60,000 decks.
I really have a lot. It's kind of a problem.
Mhm.
But really beneficial for situations like this. I can kind of go through them and be able to identify which ones suck and I'm kind
Yeah,
of done with them, and which
yeah.
ones are like, I can organize them, which is probably helpful. So we will see you guys very soon. We'll see you guys next week, and let us know, please, how this felt and what rang true. And there may be aspects of this card that we didn't touch on that really
Mhm.
jumped out for you. Please share them in the comments because I want to receive them. Jenna wants to receive them. The community wants to receive them. And this is how we learn more about how the divine expresses through humanity, right? And we get to learn different aspects of the divine and the infinite is by seeing how it expresses through each one of us. So,
Yeah.
yay. We'll see you next week. Bye.